Are we ready?
We're ready.
All right. Dad jeans. Dad
Just let me
jeans.
get this thing over here, and then
Put this
here,
right
and
in
then
here. See, Emily and I were packing up a U-Haul pickup truck yesterday, and she said at one point, "Try and shove this down in the crack," and I was like, "That's what she said," and no one laughed.
Hey! That's like Uncle Buck. I'm going to shove my load into you whether you like it or not, he says to the washing machine. And the kids are like, ooh.
I just caught a sighting in the background of a grown woman. Did you have a roommate or something like that?
Yep. In the span of a year, Hazel has jumped ahead 20 years. She's like Mirth from Mork and Mindy.
There was a character named Mirth in Mork and Mindy. Oh, wait, Jonathan Winter.
Yeah, exactly.
That was what that one.
And he was
detail.
a giant baby.
That changed. That bent my viewing imagination forever.
Really?
But I think in a good way. I was like, you can do that? Oh, well, there are no rules.
Yeah. I love it's funny in retrospect that I love that they were like, we gotta do something this is getting stale. We gotta shake up the formula a little bit. And they're like, well, what do they do on sitcoms? They have a baby, but on Mork and Mindy, the baby has to be Jonathan Winters.
I know who came up. It's in the meeting. Ah, it's so great. And we've never found out anything bad, to my knowledge, about Jonathan Winters.
Yeah, like he wasn't a pervert or anything, to our knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I recall finding him like painfully unfunny
on the show.
Jonathan Winters. And in any time I would see him doing anything, he felt very juvenile to me.
You were old enough to find things juvenile when he was playing Mirth?
Believe it or not, I was.
Wow.
I mean, I never liked the Three Stooges. That felt just like, I'm like, that's for or not juvenile. I guess I was just like, that's old person funny. Like old people would find that humorous.
Yes, right. You picture GIs on the back of a Jeep.
Cracking up.
Yeah, who had been simple farm boys. Don't know why they're in Korea, but they have something to laugh at.
Exactly. And they'd never thought of transgressing any boundaries before. Like the only humor they knew was the back of the Reader's Digest joke section.
Right, exactly. And that was plenty for them.
Yeah, exactly. That was good. That was the only laugh they needed.
Yep.
Once a week, and then they'd go back to their miserable depression lives. That's kind of how our society is becoming, I feel like.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever met someone from a small town who sort of like passive-aggressively or defensively says, I have everything I need right here?
Literally everyone I know from small towns, yes. Everyone I grew up with.
I think there's maybe something wrong with that statement.
Yeah. I don't know that it's accurate.
I think it's a failure of imagination.
A failure of imagination. I think that's probably true. And also, like none of the stuff you have is here. Like it's at the Walmart, but that's not here.
Yeah, you have to get into your giant dinosaur killing tank, and
right.
Rumble down the street to it with your thin blue line flag.
Yeah, and it's like not a local community, like the goods are being imported from elsewhere.
Yep.
It's like the whole long tail of capitalism is the only thing making it so that you have everything you need right where you are.
Exactly. Yeah. One might even say late stage capitalism.
Yeah. But you need more than things too. You need culture. You need people. You need all sorts of I don't know, interactions. No,
right.
You need all sorts of input.
Right. You need to
that's what you're missing.
You need to be challenged. They have in a certain country, they serve bull penis soup.
Yes.
I've never had it, but I'm open.
Go eat that. Go eat that.
Find the country that serves bull penis soup and eat it.
Yes. Go on Survivor. Yeah. Everyone from a small town, go on Survivor. See how the other half lives.
Well, Jeff,
let me say one real quick before I'm going to cut you off right there.
I do.
But I do have this is before I have to do a compunction next week. I do have some very close friends who still live in my hometown, who are quite worldly and have done many things in their lives and have chosen to stay in the hometown because for whatever reason they're family people. They like they enjoy it there.
Oh, no complaints.
And more power to you.
Yeah.
As long as you're not a fucking Republican.
Hey, I was born in a small town.
Yeah.
And I live in a small town. I'll probably die in a small town. I would say that no complaints about people who live in small towns. I totally get it. My issue is with the people who say they have everything right there.
Right. Yeah. Well, there is definitely everyone gets defensive about place, right? Like people from New York, like you tell them you live in LA and they're like, I could never live there. I'm
right.
Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
There's even Def Cab for Cutie songs about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Are there?
Yeah, he has a song called I Don't Know Why You'd Want to Live Here. I spent 2 weeks in Silver Lake and it smelled like diesel fuel. I'm Ben.
That sounds...
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds exactly like a Death Cab song.
And so there's a Death Cab song. Yeah, and then there's people from the Bay Area. They despise Southern California. Hate it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such bullshit. It's just bullshit. It's places. Places are different. People are different. People are the same everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Wherever you go.
And my take on this stuff is like, rather than have some sort of municipal pride, it's fun to join in and be like, yeah, it sucks. And leave it a mystery why you live there. You know what I mean? Be like, yeah, totally.
That's interesting.
And then they sort of get weirdly disarmed and then they walk away and they're like, oh, damn. They look in the mirror and they're like, I was that person and I wasn't the damn.
I have this new tactic for dealing with people who are rude to me in social media is that I just reply with positive aphorisms. I'm like, you deserve to be loved. You have value. Just like ring up a couple of those and just see how pissed off these people get.
Or what did they do to you? Oh, are you all right?
No. That's aggressive.
Oh.
You have to just be like, somebody loves you.
Could you really throw it off and be like, I totally agree. And they're like, wait.
That's a little hard. That's tough. Brendan, hi. I cut you off. What's up?
Howdy. Hi there.
What's up?
Well, speaking of that, did you see how Ted Cruz tweeted on AOC's timeline? Fully agree. And she was like, get off my timeline. You tried to have me killed 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
You can sit this one out. So
I love it.
Excellent.
But then I made the mistake of going down the comments on Cruz's thing, and people are like, there's no proof that he tried to have her killed. What are you talking about? And then they just get into this fucking argument. These people with their splitting hairs.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It must be so exhausting to be a conservative. Wouldn't you be exhausted?
I think no, because you are just so stupid that you find it like you're not trying, you're not making any effort on any of those arguments. You're just like, yeah, this is the dumbest response is the only response.
Right. Everyone else is saying this, so I'll say it too. What about Benghazi emails or that kind of thing?
Yeah. And I realized. Yeah. I realized today that the reason why they have to construct this elaborate fantasy world is because they are fully cognizant that if they actually see happening in front of their eyes is the truth, that it's horrible.
Yes. Yeah.
That's where the conspiracies come from. They are looking at it and they're like, wow, this is horrible. It can't be real.
All right. So then, okay, but does the daylight of all of our interactions with one another and the fact that it's really hard to argue with en masse what most people agree is true. You would say that you and I agree on what is actually probably true. And in fact, Hillary Clinton and Huma Abedin probably didn't drink the virgin blood of a child on video. And so there is no video that people see. We're probably on the right side of history here, but I think okay, I think that didn't happen, right?
Yeah, right. Guessing.
And so how long can utter fantasies last in the daylight of the fact that the internet exists now and we can all talk to each other and see each other?
I mean, I think until there's some kind of a horrible crash, like either a mass awakening of some sort. I mean, like what? Like I guess, yeah. I guess like versions of the same conspiracies have existed for hundreds of years, right? Like
Yeah.
the Rothschilds, like all of the Jewish conspiracy, that
right.
kind of shit.
The Bilderbergers.
Like it's all,
yeah.
That's all wound up, I think, in this QAnon shit.
Absolutely. Right. Right. Because it's never far from the original anti-Semitic stuff.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. Or it's just regurgitating the same old bullshit tropes, right?
Right. And and there's this human cult brain, I think, that comes into play where we are built to join cults. I think we're hardwired in our motherboard to believe, because it could be a tiger in the grass, or it could be your caveman mate, your cave mate pooing.
Sure.
And rustling the grass. But you have to believe it's a tiger. And you have to let your imagination run wild, because on the off chance it is a tiger, you will live and procreate. Whereas the one who's like, that's my roommate having a poo, they'll die,
That's right. Yep. I would have been the one. I would have run screaming at every poo. That would have been my place in the tribe.
I still do. If I see a dog taking a shit, I have to go home.
and rest. Yeah, I get it. Your delicate sensibilities are offended.
They are. They really are. Because it means that somehow that I'm going to die. I mean, like it somehow is attached to mortality, like everything is. So the human brain. So that's, I guess, my question. Like, there's the Clay Shirky. We talked about the Clay Shirky TED Talk I saw last week, right? Or at some point, right?
That's correct.
So there's 50 years left, or 40 years left of chaos. Or maybe 30 years, 35 years left of chaos, according to his prediction, versus the 200 years after the printing press. There's 35 years left of this. And then the daylight will probably prevail the way the nation state prevailed, I think. Right?
Okay. So when we're in our 80s, things are going to be okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
And our children will be...
That's really cool.
Our children will be roughly our age.
Fantastic.
All the opportunities are lost. No one's hiring anyone our age.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, our grandkids will be okay, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Should we have grandkids? I guess we don't have much say in the matter.
I have no say. Yeah, I'm going to leave that up to the children. That's one of the things Sarah and I have decided to leave up to the children. Whether or not they have kids.
That's a little radical. Are you sure? Because she's just a kid. You can't let her decide that on her own.
Yeah, that's actually that's a good point. All right, no kids for kids.
Yeah, Hazel. I'm sorry.
My new charity. Brendan, welcome.
Hey,
Dad Jeans.
It's Dad Jeans.
Jeffrey Dinsmore here.
Brendan Hughes over this way.
I wanted to talk about one thing in the upfront matter, which is that we got a call from Michaela Block. Our dear listener.
Hello, Michaela.
And she informed us, I've completely forgotten about this, but we were talking about clowns last week, and then we tied it into religion. And
naturally.
Michaela, yeah, they go hand in hand. As it turns out, they do go hand in hand, because Michaela was a clown for Christ.
A clown for Christ.
That's right. She was clowning for Jesus.
That is incredible. And I guess makes a certain amount of sense. What's the punchline, though, of all the gags? And is there violence? Did they get smacked in the face with a bag?
I'm sure there's plenty of violence, dude. That religion is totally fine with violence.
Oh, that's true.
There's no sex.
Yeah.
There's no sex, but there's lots of violence.
Oh, yeah, like Lenny Bruce said, that if Jesus had been executed 20 years ago, little Catholic school kids would wear electric chairs around their necks. Little electric chairs.
Yes. Right on you, Bruce. It makes perfect sense in light of our discussion last week, in which you said that you trace the origins of clownery to carpenters nailing fake Jesuses up on the cross and bungling their way about with gunny sacks and whatnot.
Always the gunny sack.
There's always a gunny sack. If you see a gunny sack in the first act, by the
Oh, right. The
third act.
the Chekhov rule of gunny sacks.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Either two animals are going to have sex in it, or someone's getting hit in the face with that thing. Or if it's a really good
Exactly.
show, both.
Hey
now.
Yeah. If it's a Coen Brothers movie, you're gonna see both. So that's all I have to say about that. I would love to. We're going to have her on at some point because we have to talk about Meniere's. We have to talk about.
Oh, there's so much.
I feel like we're just building it up for our audience.
Right,
Now the
yeah,
audience
exactly.
Every week is tuning in, and they're like, "Where is she?"
She's kind of the Dad Jeans Murph now, our new Murph of this season.
Yeah, the Mirth, the Jonathan Winters Mirth of our
Our Mirth, right.
She could be our baby.
Jeff, did you ever tune in to late night UHF growing up?
Yeah,
And younger
Shazbot.
What did you say?
Nothing.
and find that it was tuned to a Power Team show. Do you remember the Power Team?
No.
The Power Team was weightlifters for Christ. And they would
Oh, wow.
go to like parochial high schools and in the auditorium, and everyone would file in to see the show. And they had, red, white, and blue unitards, and they would bend bars and be like, ah! Yeah! Or like bend the bars over their head and then run to the camera and be like, I love you, Jesus!
Yeah!
Yeah! Because they were lifting with the power of Christ.
Oh, I love that, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty sick.
That's amazing. And they would absolutely have Striper going full volume behind them.
Full blast Striper. Maybe the bassist was one of the Power Team for all we know.
So, who manufactured their steroids? Did those also come from Christ?
I think their steroids was the actual blood of the lamb.
They'd eat it on one of those little crackers. Here's your little cracker. Here's your steroid. Thank you, Jesus.
Oh, it was insane. And I remember watching, and I have to say, I was like, I guess it might be nice to have muscles, but they really don't seem like my crowd. No Jesus for me, I guess.
Nope.
And it was a turnoff.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Michaela also got at this in her call. She said, Brendan and I have a similar upbringing because I was also raised to be heavily religious. Mm-hmm. Now, I know your father was a former priest.
'Twas indeed.
Were you raised religious, though?
This is where we diverge, Michaela. I was actually not at all. He was excommunicated, I believe, after he married himself to my mother.
Oh, wow!
In his last act as a priest, and he decided that he was. I mean, he himself was very religious. I think, he was very. I guess you have to be if you become a priest. But
yeah,
he decided that he wanted us to decide for ourselves. And so we never...
unpriestman-like of him.
I know, right. Yeah, he was very, very unusual cat. And then, but when we visited my aunt in Scranton, we had to go to church every week. So if I spent the summer in Scranton, Pennsylvania, which I was wont to do, I was going to church every week, and I even know when to do this one. Are you Catholic?
Yeah.
Do you know what this thing is? This is where you tap your forehead, then your chin, then your chest for St. Matthew,
Yeah,
I
of
think.
course.
Everyone knows that,
I'm
right?
I'm not Catholic, but I know things. I've been around.
It's got to be a beginning of a joke. I'm not Catholic, but I blank a mean blank. I don't know what it would be.
Yeah, I mean lap bottom.
I'm not Catholic, but I QWERTY a mean lap bottom.
That's right. a bit Moorish. I was just watching Peep Show. Have you watched Peep Show?
No, I don't know of this.
Oh my God. It's literally the funniest TV show ever made. It's a British sitcom. I encourage everyone to go to Hulu. They have every episode of Peep Show. It is I don't laugh at anything. I just sit on my couch and guffaw. But there's a character named Super Hands who's a DJ, and I was watching a episode the other day, and Super Hands had gotten into crack, and he was talking to he comes up like all twitchy from in the background in a scene, and one of the characters says, "How are you, Super Hands?" And he says, "Say what? This crack's a bit Moorish."
What does that even mean?
I don't know, but it's like one of those amazing Britishisms where I'm just like, it's a bit Moorish. It's just like immediately I have a picture in my head and I'm like, that's amazing. I'm going to start using a bit Moorish. This crack's a bit Moorish.
When I watched the show Girls, I kind of let it happen to me and admired it. I was like, this seems to be a cultural event that I am sitting through and interesting. But
yes.
The episode where Zosha Mamet smoked crack was that bit was pretty fantastic.
Oh, do not recall that episode.
She was like, "What's this?" at a party, and like was then high on crack. And they did get that gag where she like runs one way out of the frame, and then someone's chasing her, and then she runs in the foreground the other way. It's great, really, really funny. Anyway, I just love a good gag, Jeff. I'm a gag lover.
She was the one person on that show who like I felt like I actually enjoyed watching her.
Yeah. She had. I didn't want to in principle because of nepotism of Hollywood.
Sure.
Like there's the insidious nepotism in this stupid town. Yet she has a winning quality.
She does have a winning quality, and like compared to the other three, like who would just like make my skin crawl from time to time. Mm-hmm. She didn't make my skin crawl quite as much. She had an appreciable distance from her character. Her character was like a little like too wacky to be real. And so that's what I like appreciated.
Yes, right. She had that sort of Gilda Radner-ish approach.
Little, yeah. There's a little bit like
there's a Verfremdung.
You're not being yourself.
Yeah, it's
whereas
Brechtian.
The other three seemed exactly like who they were in real life.
Yep. Yeah.
Which was assholes. Okay,
right.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Right. Yeah, it's absolutely true. Yes. But I had a girlfriend in Boston who worked at this toy store called FAO Schwartz. And
of course.
One of these times, David Mamet came in to buy a Barbie for his daughter.
Okay.
And my girlfriend was no fan of David Mamet because of his portrayal of women in his plays. And
he's a terrible human being.
Yeah, and now he's just like the conservative. He's a troll. He was like the original troll.
Yes.
But she was like, "Oh, you're buying a Barbie." Like she was like, "Oh, I see, you're buying a Barbie," you know. And she didn't hand his credit card back to him. She dropped it. and made him pick it up off the counter.
Wow. See that
pretty funny.
That is some good uncivility.
Yes.
Incivility.
Yeah. She was very funny lass.
Good.
In any event, here we are, Jeff.
Yes, we are here. Should we move into our first segment? Do you have any more upfront matter?
I think that's all of my matter that goes up front.
Well, then let's get into Dad versus Dad.
Dad versus Dad.
In this corner, Dad. In the other corner, Dad. Dad versus Dad.
This is a segment we haven't done in a while.
No, it's true.
We've been so agreeable on everything.
I feel like we overlap. The Venn diagram of us, you really have to zoom in to see any air between the circles.
Yep. You gotta look real close at the short hairs to see the difference between me and Brent.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Even stool consistency is like right on the money.
Yeah, exactly. When I see you taking a shit on a street corner, I have to run home and lie down.
We all do, believe me. It's not pretty. But I did get the flaps put in on my pants, so it's much easier now.
That's good. That just whisks away the mud. Like the buttons. Like
the Bugs Bunny butt flap.
Right.
Because I wear a union suit and roller skates in my daily life.
You know, speaking of, I have these pajama bottoms, or like every man has pajama bottoms with a button crotch, right? Like there's one button.
Yep.
Am I supposed to be unbuttoning that and sticking my dick out of it and peeing? Like what is the convenience of that button?
Well, I have a controversial thing to say about this.
Okay.
You mean as the alternative being just pull down at the waistband and come up and over the waistband and down again, right?
Yes, like you do with every other pair of pants.
Should I say this on the air? Is what I'm what's going on in my brain.
Oh, you just have your dick hanging out of that thing all the time? It's like a tail. It's like if you had a tail.
A vestigial tail in the front, a front tail.
Right. You would need a hole in the back for your tail, but okay.
That hole, I switched. I was a up and over man over the waistband for a long time, but then my waistband started to go doing that. That was one thing, and the second thing is I've started to wear a belt all the time, and undoing the belt was a big pain in the butt. And then sometimes you pee on the end of the leather of the belt, and then you're like, damn it, that kind of thing. So
okay, stop yourself right there.
Okay,
you wear a belt with your pajamas?
Yeah, don't you? No, I mean, as a man in my lifestyle, I changed to going through the hole and finding it and digging.
But you don't have it in jeans.
What's that?
Well, you don't have that hole in jeans.
Well, you got to unzip, and then you got to dig for the hole in the underpants. Then you got to dig for your own situation and yank out the whole thing, and then produce it, and then it flops around, and then you start thinking, and then you have to stuff it away again. But here's the thing.
Confused.
With the underpants, I mean, with the whole thing, with it going through the slit that is sewn in for us fellas, because we come with the hose, factory installed. Yes. What I think it gives you the illusion of penetration.
How about that? Okay.
And so therefore, it's to be enjoyed.
So you fetishize the hole.
Well, you just stand there and you're like, oh, it's being kind of lightly held on either side. Not by me.
But don't you pee all over your pants?
No. Oh, no. Well, it comes out and then down towards the bowl, and it angles towards the toilet. Like,
but you still got to direct the flow, right? You're not just letting loose and standing with arms akimbo.
Oh, I am. I do. It goes. Perhaps I'm a little blessed in that it hangs straight down and it doesn't shoot off to the side. It goes straight in the bowl.
That's an accident waiting to happen, my friend.
It could be.
You're gonna get so many drops in your pants when you pull it back in.
Oh yeah, well you have to swing it around like a lasso for a while afterwards.
I mean, I will accept your definition. I will accept your explanation over the idea that it's somehow a time saver.
Oh, it has nothing to do with time. No, because I'm standing there digging. Okay. I'm digging around. The thing is like all mushed together, and then you have to yank it out and make it like a normal, long shaped situation. Like make it tubular again.
I can't. The difficulty in what you're describing. I wish I could identify with it more.
You have to lift. You have to lift one heel. Like you're lifting a heel, and you're like digging.
Yeah, like every time Brendan has to go to the bathroom, he's like, "Not again."
Yeah, it's true. Here we go again.
Like, honey, hold this. I need to get it out again.
There we go. I'm just gonna. And you pee so often, like, I'm just going to leave it out for the next one.
This is not our dad versus dad, by the way.
No. Certainly, we're pre-gaming our dad v dad.
Pre-gaming, yeah. But apparently this is something we have a dad versus dad on as well. Should you use the pee hole? It's sad that women have nothing. Like, there's no vagina hole that you can just stick your muff out of.
Right. How would that work?
I don't know.
In the times that I've seen ladies use the bathroom in nature, they squat down low.
Right.
So it would have to be when you squat, some sort of hatch right there.
Oh well, yeah. Well, it's the back flaps. That's what you were talking about.
Oh, the back flap, right?
It would just have to be more of a center flap, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly.
Dad versus dad. Let's talk about this whole GameStop situation.
Oh, let's. Brendan, I think that's a wonderful idea.
You're abreast of this.
I am.
I have feelings, but I have very little. I have very little actual knowledge. So that's where this dad versus dad comes in. Is my feelings about the positive implications of what is happening. I think differ from yours. So
I think you should go. I think you should go first because you did. I did notice on our lively text thread that you did have some serious reservations and some feelings, some emotions involving the matter. And I would love to hear everything you have to say, and then I will respond.
Counter it. Okay, well, I'll do my best. My problem with going first is that I don't really 100% get it. I guess I get it. I don't get stocks. I don't get it. I don't understand what they're all about.
Well, then how about I explain what's going on, and then you react, and then I react.
Okay, sure. Go for it.
Okay. So
Let's do that.
So what's going on here is there
Yes.
is a Redditor who lives in a basement in suburban Boston, my hometown.
Yeah.
Named Deep Fucking Value, and he 6 months ago noticed that the GameStop stock was at $4, and that
Yes.
there were these hedge funds on Wall Street, like Melvin and a couple of other ones, that were shorting it at $4, and he saw that as apocalyptic, and basically that these hedge funds, and I'll explain shorting in a second, that these hedge funds were betting that GameStop was going to go out of business, and he thought that's insane. So, so what shorting is they arrange there's an arrangement with a brokerage or something like that where they say, all right, we will borrow let's say a million shares of GameStop, and we will sell it back. We'll sell it back to you. We'll write a contract, and we're going to sell it back to you in a year or 6 months or something like that, and we will sell it back to you at $4, and or whatever you designate, I think. And but I think it's usually what it's at right now. So what they are betting is it will go. What they're betting is when the contract's up and they have to sell the stock back to the person they borrow the stocks from, that it will go down. Yeah. So when the contract is up, GameStop is at $2, they make $2 on every share because they only have to sell it back at or however that you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
But if GameStop, go ahead.
You're betting on a loss. Like
you're betting on a loss, right?
You say the Lions are going to lose, and they lose.
And then,
so
but the thing is, with short selling, the losses are infinite, because if GameStop is trading at 50, they have to
make up the difference.
Yeah,
right.
they have to pay the difference. And so he saw they were doing this at $4 6 months ago, and this is where I'm tipping my hand, but hedge funds have been gaming the system, and they have all these arrows in their quiver to do all sorts of nasty shit to the market just for their own gain at the expense of retail investors. So anyway, so he saw this, and he's on Wall Street Bets on Reddit, which I've been following for years, and they are really funny because everyone on it just talks about the losses they took they all refer to themselves as brain damaged monkeys. So he told everyone on Wall Street Bets this thing, and then so began this thing where everyone started buying up GameStop like crazy this month. And so if you had bought, GameStop was trading at $4 3 weeks ago, and right now it's at $350. And Melvin's already gone out of business. Like that hedge fund has closed up shop forever because of this, and they know but it's been short sold other places too. And so what they're basically doing is forcing they're tearing money out of billionaires' hands, and it is being redistributed to these like brain damaged monkeys on Reddit.
Right. Okay. Yes. So yeah, I mean that's basically I get all of that. But is it really? If they're hanging on to their stocks, they're not selling their stocks. So still, it's all fantasy world, correct?
Yeah, oh yes. There's going to be a moment soon, probably this week, when Deep Fucking Value is like, okay, everybody sell, because they figure it out. But they're not doing. But they're all going to do it at the same time. So that's how that's going to work, basically.
So then are the hedge funds who got in at the right time posed to make billions again?
No. All the hedge funds will lose money because they were all shorting GameStop and they didn't see this
Not
coming.
all of them, no. There were several who didn't.
Oh, who didn't? Who will still be around. Yeah, sure.
Who maybe are making out just as much as the normal people.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, like if they kind of got wind of this and bought up a bunch of GameStop also?
Yeah.
Your GameStop? Maybe.
Well, or there are hedge funds I've read who were going long on GameStop.
Oh, they were.
Like
yeah.
It wasn't.
They'll do very well.
It wasn't a mass. conspiracy, like amongst the hedge funds. Like basically you're just going to drive some people out of business who made bad bets.
Right. Yes.
I guess I can see the, I feel like we're retrofitting some kind of movement to this when it feels as if like it's on every end the motivation is to make money, and that feels like you're not there, you're not going to accomplish anything if that's your motivation. Like it's just not, that's not how change is made. Like hey, we're going to find a way to make money in a way that screws over someone else. Like it just doesn't feel like that. I don't feel like that's sustainable. It feels like a blip, I guess. A, and B, if for whatever reason this creates instability in the market. I mean, first of all, I'm surprised that there hasn't been a crash yet. Like I thought for sure there was going to be a massive crash during Donald Trump's administration. Mm-hmm. It hasn't happened. So I think the fundamentals of the stock market are probably so fucked that like it's just going to take one journalist to uncover the accounting error and the entire system will come crashing down. And when that happens, I feel like the people who suffer the most are never the rich people. It's going to be...
Oh, right. It's the people behind the counter at McDonald's.
Yeah, it's just going to be all of us. It's like the rich people like, oh, shit, okay, we're like, we just lost $10 million, but you're out of a job and you have no retirement savings anymore.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't fault anyone for jumping in on this. Like, it seems like a smart... Like, I mean, I understand in principle that it's like that it's like a fuck you to the hedge funds. I just don't feel as if like it just doesn't feel like, I don't think it's an actual, I don't know. I don't know what it, I don't see it being something, I don't see it being radical. Like essentially you're just like another fucking douchebag who's trying to make money, except the way you've found to do it kind of, fucks with a couple of millionaires or something like that. You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. It makes sense.
Okay. Okay.
And last night we had to go to public storage, like one of those public storage places. And the struggle is very real. Like there's all this literature that's like, you can't live in your space and stuff like that. And there's this gate that closes. And this woman, we were there after, like we were finishing up after hours. And she was like, I'm leaving. You have to let yourself out. Don't let anyone in. There'll probably be someone at the door who wants to come in. Don't let them in. And I was like, oh, wow, Jesus Christ. So like, that's where public storage is where I think...
The rubber hits the road.
Is where the rubber hits the road. Exactly. Where it's the people, where people are really struggling. People are between things. Like where in this economy, and this is not a country, this is not a nation, it's just an economy. Where people in this economy are really struggling, and it's real.
Sure.
And so, yes, that is true. And everything you were saying is true. It's sort of like shenanigans. It's probably so many shenanigans and nothing more. And what will it really do? Here are a couple of positives that I've seen. Okay. One is an article about a guy in Missouri, a dad in Missouri who makes $35,000 a year, and he's right now holding $1 million in GameStop stock. And the good news is when they all sell at the same time, they will keep their money. You know, like all these people who have taken money away from hedge funds will keep it. Yeah. Because the sale will happen, the hedge funds will close, and they'll all go bankrupt. It's like great. And the thing is, I feel like the way Wall Street works is it's this insider club where it's these cocaine snorting douchebags in Manhattan, and there's nothing but insider trading. And the SEC is completely weak, and it's all these billionaires who have meetings about how to fuck over retail investors. And the rich are always like, why don't the poor invest their money? But then the poor invest their money, and they're like, because they set it up so that it can't work. It is set up so that these hedge funds game the market for for themselves, and on the backs of people who are trying to get a leg up in who are like, I saved some money and I'm not going to spend it on beer. I'm going to invest in Coca-Cola or something like that. And then you pay all these fees and you kind of never get anywhere because they've built it up that way. And it's all built based on volume and all this kind of, and leverage and all this stupid shit. So, I think what this does is it makes it so that it is no longer like, it's like 1984. Everyone has massed together on Reddit. Anyone who has an internet connection now is part of the hedge fund that is Wall Street Bets. And that is a huge threat to the existence of these actual hedge funds where they consolidate power and they do everything they can to make it an insider versus outsider, in-group versus out-group scenario. There's this out-group that is causing chaos and disrupting the system, which has ramifications, I think, all the way down through society, potentially. If there are some... Okay. You know what I mean? Like, there's this barrier, I feel like, which is $250,000 a year. Over and under that is the barrier between wealth and middle class and poverty. You know what I mean? Like middle class / poverty. Like there's this thing, like at Fox, I noticed like all the VPs make $250,000 a year, and they invented that layer, the vice president layer in the 70s, when women entered the workforce to kind of make it so that people get to a certain spot and they figure out exactly how much money, there's just enough money, just enough clout, et cetera, to make it so that it's, oh, hi guys, good morning.
Hi, Blue. Hi, Oscar.
To make it so that it is, you're happy to stop there. And so, but there is so much more money in the world, and there's so much more collusion among the rich. Like the amount of, as Chris Rock said, if poor people knew how rich people were, there'd be blood in the streets. I think I said that a couple weeks ago. You know, so
right.
There are these barriers to entry, and this is releasing a barrier to entry, and it is making the wealthy nervous because suddenly the internet represents a place where we can all communicate with one another and figure out how to eat them. And I say, good.
Look, I love it in principle, but so you say this guy, he made $1 million. He's a school teacher or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he still has that money. Where is it coming from?
He will when he sells this, when the squeezes squoze, as they're saying on the internet, when they do the because this is all called the short squeeze on these hedge funds, when they actually squoze the squeeze, he will cash out. He'll sell them all, and then it's just a balance, and then he can transfer it to his bank.
Yeah, but from who? Who is paying for that? Who's giving that money to him?
That's the thing. The hedge funds have to close out the hedge funds have to buy them because of their short.
They can't go bankrupt? I thought you said one of the hedge funds is already out.
One is already out. I wonder, that's a good question. Well, they don't want to go bankrupt, so they will have to leverage the rest of their money, and
they'd rather go bankrupt than pay a bunch of fucking scum bottom dwellers and
that's a good point.
Just justify this technique. I'm saying
that's a good point. Who knows?
That could be a fucking, like, what? So it's like buying concert tickets. Like they all have to hit the button at that minute, or else, like in it's sold out within 30 seconds. This is it could explode. It could fucking blow up in everyone's faces.
There may be.
Am I wrong?
There may be consequences. There may be something that happens. But from my understanding, in order to close out their contracts, which they must do by law, they have to buy the stocks at whatever price they're set at. And the issue is actually not that they're going to take big losses, because these companies take big losses all the time. That's part of the game. But it's more that the threat this poses philosophically and to their way of life. So,
I mean, I hope so. I think that threat is going to lead to something. They're not going to take this lying down, these fat cats.
I know, yeah, because now they're like, there should be regulations, when they never wanted them before, but now they want them because the little guy's involved.
Yeah, and that's going to be the regulation. It's not going to be anything about shorting stocks.
Right.
I mean, I think
Exactly.
that
But this is actually where there's common ground. This is why Ted Cruz agreed with AOC, because even Republicans are like, yeah, they are willing to protect retail investors. So there's actual common ground between Democrats and Republicans about protecting retail investors.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where it goes. I mean, to me, like, this is my problem with all of it. It's my problem with tech stocks. Like, that, what did I read the other day? That only like 16% of all tech companies are solvent.
That's
it's
terrifying.
like,
right. It's all made up.
Yeah, and GameStop is a terrible company. Like, they treat their workers like shit. They like have no future. Like, it's betting on Sam Goody, essentially.
Right.
Like, you're just like, it's like a bad company. So there's no value to the actual company itself. So it's just further proof that there is literally no relationship between the company and the stock market, except when the stock market decides to, like, for whatever reason, like GameStop is just a pawn in this whole thing, and they're going to go out of business one way or the other. There's no way that GameStop is going to come out of this and be like, we're innovating now. We have all this money. Thanks, you guys.
Well,
like,
the one way it could happen is if big, like an Elon Musk or something, bought it and said it's going streaming now or something. That's its only saving grace. But you're right. Once the squeeze is squozed, it will probably go out of business.
Yeah. So then what? I don't know what. I guess. Yeah. It's transfer of money into my individual bank account seems to be like the motivating factor for most people.
Right. Which is
like
questionable. That's true.
I understand that it's a lovely. It's in principle, like, collective action is wonderful. It's like, it's great. Is this the best? Is this really gonna? I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening.
If it gives a black eye to what what's the guy's name who was the Secretary of Labor under Clinton? I follow him on all the platforms, and I've even met him, and I directed a play he wrote. And
Robert Wright?
Yes, Robert Wright. He calls them vulture capitalists. If vulture capitalists are, as he calls them on Wall Street, get a black eye out of this, I think that's not necessarily terrible.
No, that's not terrible at all. I'm not. I don't have, like, optimism. That's all.
Yeah. You're smart. You're smart to do that. I have stars in my eyes because it's so exciting to watch billionaires suffer.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Did you see the guy on CNBC who was, like, crying? There's, like, a clip that went around, and he was just like, and the anchor was like, "It's okay, take some time," and he was like, I love the system. Like,
oh my God.
He was like so sad that the system was changing that he loved.
I get drunk on his tears.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of brief orgasms happening right now in relation to this. Brief mental orgasms.
Yeah.
Shall we move into Spike Club?
Oh, Spike Club.
I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! Spy Club! I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! Spy Club! Fuck!
Do you feel good? Have we tackled GME?
I feel great about this. You should buy AMC and buy Dogecoin.
Yeah. You're making money, right?
I
made
$200 in 4 hours on Dogecoin on Friday.
Unbelievable. Wow. Good on you.
Yeah.
But do you have to be waiting by your computer screen to press buy at the exact right moment?
I got a sense that Doge was next, and so I was late. I was actually very late. And by the way, 5 years ago I owned 10,000 Dogecoin, and why would I sell them? I sold them for 38 cents. I'm such an idiot.
Wow.
But in any case, so I would have a lot more money than I do now. But because I've always thought, I try to do this like in my cubicle at Fox. It's like, well, I guess I should do some cryptocurrency or whatever. But I just reading Wall Street Bets and everything else, I started to be like, oh, wait a second. I think Dogecoin is next. I think they're gonna, because now they realize their power and they can do this, And so and Dogecoin is just a joke. And so if I bought $100 in Dogecoin right now. Or I can't remember how much I bought, but or $50 or whatever. I think it could do okay, and it doubled or tripled or whatever.
Okay, all right. Sorry, I don't want to belabor this, but is anyone using Dogecoin? Like, what? How do you use a Dogecoin?
How do you use any of that shit or Ethereum or any of it? Who knows? I have no idea. How do you even use Bitcoin? I don't know.
I mean, I know that it's wildly wildly economically unfeasible. Like, I know that using a Bitcoin to buy something is like absurdly like difficult.
Right.
Like,
and Bitcoins cost 33.
It will not ever replace money.
Yeah. Right. And yeah, because they cost $33,000 each. And back when they were $1, if you'd bought 100 of those, you'd have, $33 million or $3.3 million.
Jesus.
Which is bananas to think about, but I don't know why they have any value. I don't know why that value goes up and down. It's like baseball cards, I guess. It's just the same as that.
Yeah.
It's like, I have the Wade Boggs rookie card, and last year's worth $45 at Baseball Con, and now it's worth $46. So give me $46. I made $1.
You got yourself a bunch of virtual Donruss rookies.
Donruss
is what you got.
Kent Urbeck.
All right. Spike Club. This is a work thing that I'm just over, Brendan. If you don't work a like regular job, you might not identify with me on this, but the fucking status meeting. Oh. I hate a status meeting.
Status meeting? Meaning like everyone just says how they're feeling and what they're thinking about?
No.
A status meeting. Or what kind of relationship they're in?
Close. A status meeting is a regular meeting on the status of a project or the status of an account, but it's not there's nothing accomplished in that meeting. Everyone just says what they're doing. Yes, this week I will be writing this and this. And it's a half-hour meeting, and I have them for probably 3 different teams and 2 different projects. So that means that a good quarter of my week is taken up by just meeting up with people and saying what I'm doing, explaining to them what I'm doing.
Awful.
Get rid of the status meeting. I don't need a status meeting. I don't care what anyone else's status is. I don't need anyone to know my status. Just exit out. No more.
There's another philosophy about just meetings in general, that meetings are to make decisions. That's it. You don't meet for any other reason except to make decisions.
Right. I think that's absolutely fair. I wish that, and I wish there could be an agenda for every meeting about this is a decision we're going to come out of this with. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And this is how we're going to decide it. There are these levels of decision making. This one is going to be where we all talk, and then I decide. This one is going to be where we all talk, and we all have to agree that whatever the majority decides, we'll just support that, et cetera, et cetera. And then
what about the brainstorm?
There's a great New Yorker article about how they're stupid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and about how
I'd love to read it.
Just collaboration is just terrible, and
I know that's your thing.
Yes.
That's your what's the word? Bugaboo? No, that's your
hobby horse.
Bugbear, hobby horse. Sure.
There's a third way.
Flat bottom.
But the only way brainstorms work is if you're allowed to say when something's dumb.
Okay. Interesting.
It's a paradox.
I think
because they're always like, oh,
I don't find that
dumb, Anyway.
I don't find that many people have a problem with that.
That's good.
Most people are far more likely to say when something's dumb than when something is good.
Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can go off the rails in that way. But if it's too kumbaya and you're like, there are no bad ideas, then you're not going to get anywhere. But if you're like, all right, fire out some ideas, and someone says, what if we eat people? And you're like, that's dumb. And you're like, all right, I know. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Could be. I don't know. I sometimes I feel like in conversation things evolve out of that though, right?
Yeah, they do.
I don't mind a good brainstorm with someone who I feel connected with creatively.
Oh yeah, that can work. Right. If you have that thing, but groups I think don't necessarily automatically have it. You have to build to it. Like you would want to do brainstorming is like really kinky sex for a group. You want to broach it later on if you're like, can I eat grapes out of your ass crack You say that
Yeah.
like in the 3rd year of marriage.
Right. If you walk in and everyone's sucking and fucking like just right 2 seconds in, you're like,
And you're like,
this is not sustainable.
yeah, someone took their glass eye out and you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Tomorrow is going to be weird.
Build up to that. Yeah, exactly. Brendan, I'm with you on that.
Status meetings.
What's your Spike Club?
My Spike Club is, I've noticed when people, so first of all, this last week, we lost probably one of my, I would say one of my favorite comic actors of all time, Cloris Leachman. God,
yeah, she's a real
rest her soul.
Yes. Did you see Brian Kahn's video?
Where did he post a thing where she talks about how he was circumcised twice?
Yeah.
I saw that years ago. It's so good.
Amazing.
Circumcised twice.
Oh, however, this is now going to go against your Spike Club this week.
That is an exception because that's some funny shit, and he wasn't in it with her.
That's a real thing.
It's a real thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it had never seen the light of day because that was an internal Fox thing. I think that was for upfronts or something like that.
Sure.
And it was an outtake, too. Like, it wasn't part of the whole thing. Like, he was shooting something for upfronts, and then he asked her to say that, which I think is amazing. And then I think this one, so that is allowed. Brian, I think I saw that before I met you, and I thought that was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. Or I saw it right after we had that first fateful lunch on the Fox lot. And it's just great. And B, good on you for getting that because she's just amazing. But in any case, we lost Cloris Leachman. And so most of these things, like Steve Jobs, never met the guy, probably nice or something, or nice to something, whatever. But like the people crying at the Apple store, I was like, what? What are you talking about?
Come on.
Did he cry at McDonald's when Ray Kroc died too? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what is
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense. Some of it doesn't make any sense, like the celebrity adulation and when the celebrities die. When celebrities die who you've never met, but like meant something to you, kind of, I'm always like, oh yeah, well, that is kind of sad. But then sometimes people will die and you're like, I didn't follow him, so I'm like, oh, well, it's sad. It's always sad. But I didn't know them personally. But what'll happen on social media is people will suddenly have been either their hugest fan their whole lives and take to their socials to post some like long diary entry about how wonderful this person was and what they meant to you, which always strikes me as a little bit disingenuous.
Sure.
Or worse, a picture of themselves with the dead person. To be like, gonna miss you.
Like they saw them in a restaurant or something.
Yeah, or if it's another famous person, they post a thing with like, them and I do not follow Ryan Gosling. Let's say hypothetically Ryan Gosling posted a picture of himself with Kobe. You know what I mean?
Sure.
After the helicopter crash, he'd be like, I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? That's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're like, so you met him or knew him or whatever, and so now we're supposed to give you attention too,
Yes.
I hate it.
Reflected death glory.
Yeah, exactly. And clout chasing.
Yes, I'm going to steal your death.
Yes, right.
For my own personal gain.
Right, because now I have clout.
Yes.
Because look, here's a picture of me laughing with or whatever it is, and I'm just like, ugh, what are you doing? That is so tasteless to me when people post a picture of themselves with a celebrity that just died. That makes me fucking insane. I'll never understand selfies in the first place. Like, there are all these actors on my feed who are just like, there's a picture of them just like looking in the camera and it's like Tuesday vibes, and I'm like, what? What?
Right.
Who gives a shit about your fucking face again?
Yeah.
Ugh, I don't get it.
I don't know. I'm with you on that one, and that gets into my other another Spike Club that I had this week, which is I don't want to see your fucking dog doing something cute.
Oh yeah, I hereby vow you will never see my dog on Instagram.
Good. Your dog is awesome. You could post mini pictures of your dog if you wanted to.
Sure.
Why do you want to?
Dude.
Everyone knows what a dog looks like.
Yeah, and my dog catches fucking frisbees. Like, I have a God-given right to post pictures on Instagram, and I still won't. Right.
Nope. Good job. Good on you.
Yeah.
No doggos.
No
fur babies on your feed.
No Dogstagram or something. Because you see that, and I'm like, so it's a selfie of like a thing. There's a thing sitting on the couch. I guess that's kind of cute, but probably for you because you know it in person. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. And more often than not, these pictures are like you're sitting there and you're holding your camera, like facing your crotch, and your dog is like looking up and like half out of the frame.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what am I supposed to get out of this image? Like, what are you giving me here?
I don't care.
Jamel Bowie, you and your goddamn dog. I don't care about your dog, Jamel.
The only Instagram worth looking at is Emmanuel Lubezki's Instagram.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
He's a director.
I don't know Instagram at all, actually. But, okay, go ahead.
Sucks. But Emmanuel Lubezki is a cinematographer who works with Alfonso Cuarón a lot and a bunch of other people. And his Instagram is full of beautiful photography because the point is photographs, and so it should be beautiful things to look at. It shouldn't be like, we went to the place and had a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, we just end up so awash in the mundanity of other people's lives, you know, when there's so much mundane to go around in our own fucking life. And we're supposed to go, we're supposed to go and be like, oh, I'm enriched because Emmanuel Lubezki is in some interesting part of the world. And there's this like Capuchin monkey who came up to him or something, you know, and held out a pine cone. Well, I've never seen a monkey holding a pine cone, but now I have. Thanks, Emmanuel.
Yeah. I want to see a monkey holding a pine cone.
Who
There's
doesn't?
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. But,
give me monkey holding a pine cone, Graham. Sure.
Yeah, right. But what I don't want to see is some fucking actor's face on Tuesday morning. Again.
Right. Or 3 people at every hotel pool I go to now, it's like 3, 20-something women, like posing so that they can show that they're at a hotel pool.
And the peace sign thing. Do they even know what that means?
Yeah. I don't think so. It's gang sign for dumb people. But I think also we should acknowledge that like it's broken. Like not everyone should have a voice. I don't think social media is doing anything good to our discourse at all.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, because some people don't have anything to say.
They don't, or they have negative anything to say. They have worse than nothing to say.
Right.
They have
and
bad things to say.
Exactly. And they make us dumber for having heard them. We are all dumber having listened to you.
I have this guy, this old boy. This old boy I grew up with posted a thing the other day about like 4 days into Biden's administration, and here are all the horrible things he's done, and like his approval ratings are plummeting, and he's like already lost 150,000 jobs, blah blah blah. Like not a thing on there had any standing in reality, but it looked professional, and all his dumb friends are liking it, and I'm just like, God, this is a horrible world that we live in.
Right. Everyone proselytized. We'll all have access to one another and what we're all thinking. Is that a good thing? No, it's not.
Terrible. No, it's a terrible thing.
As a species, we're very mediocre.
Yes, exactly. And if you want to go out into the world of like governments and whatnot, like it has clearly made us more like them than it's made them more like us, which was the initial impetus, was that like American freedom is spreading all over the world now, but that ain't the case. Like authoritarianism just came home.
Wow. Fuck.
Right?
Fuck. Yeah.
Right,
Jeff.
Right. All right, let's move into our final segment. Either way, it's gone.
Either way, it's gone.
The things you loved and didn't love, either way, they're gone.
I always enjoy explaining what this is because it's so cumbersome. Either way, it's gone. These are the phenomena from the time before we had kids that we either miss or we don't miss. Either way, it's gone.
Either way, it's gone. Yeah, see, that was not cumbersome. I think it's what I get in there. I'm like, so this is things that we liked before but didn't like now because then was then and yesterday is tomorrow. No, it's just things we liked before, or liked or didn't like from before we had kids, right?
Either way, it's gone.
Brendan, what's your either way it's gone?
Here's what I miss, but this may or may not have to do with having kids. It may just be the march of time. I really
Yes.
miss looking in the mirror and there not being anything particularly wrong with my eyes.
Oh, interesting.
They weren't bloodshot. There weren't new bags under them, and there weren't little purple spots like underneath as well.
God,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Now it's been the last 6,000 times I looked in the mirror.
Yeah.
There's a complaint about my eyes, and now I'm getting these.
like-
I'm getting bags. Like the protuberance of like fat sacks under my eyes has begun. The march of that.
Yeah.
I noticed. I didn't know this. Like we all look at faces all day long, right? And you see, like there are two things that come with age on the human face that I have noticed. Three things.
Okay.
One is the
Three things.
the creases that run from your nose down the sides of your mouth. That young people don't have those, but immediately, like when you hit your 40s, because your skin changes at the age 40, and you don't have as much elastin anymore, and that's when all this stuff starts to happen. And so, but we don't know this, but like, young people, when selecting a mate, they're like, that person has creases around their mouth. They're over 40. I can't procreate with that thing. Not that I care about this thing, but I mean, like, this is the language, And then, the eyes, there are these protuberances that appear under the eyes that start to happen. And then, they're bloodshot. And then also the gravity pulls down on the upper eyelids, et cetera, right? I've just noticed the march of time on my face. And I'm doing this Chinese medicine for my for Meniere's disease, because like I've given up on Western medicine at this point, and maybe Chinese herbs may help. And so the dude I talked to was like, send me a picture of your face. And I was like, okay. Well, at first he was like, send me your tongue, picture of your ears. Now send me a picture of your face. This picture of my face wasn't even my dad. It was like my grandfather's corpse in a coffin. Now, you know what I mean? Like I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, who is that?
Yeah. Yeah. It's hideous.
Hideous. It's
Yeah.
terrifying what happens to the face. Anyway, so watching that happen and being trapped in our house and everything's on hold and just getting older and just looking in the mirror and being like, holy shit, not only are they bloodshot, but there's all new weird problems with those fucking things, those being my eyes.
Amen.
Ugh.
Amen.
I just want to look in the
Yes.
mirror and not bump on something.
I hear that. I was just taking a picture of myself because one can only catch oneself fleetingly in a video.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm looking at my camera right now, and if I look away, I get a split second, a nanosecond of me looking straight on, right?
Yep.
So I'm looking at myself in this camera, and I'm just like, do I have a wonky eye? Like I never thought I had a wonky eye, but maybe I have a wonky eye. And I took a picture, and then I was just like, I think I might have a wonky eye. Do I have a wonky eye, Brendan? Have you ever noticed me to have a wonky eye?
I don't think of you as having a wonky eye, but as someone who has a wonky eye, the moment you notice it is the worst day of your life.
Yes. I've never noticed you to have a wonky eye, but is this eye a little wonky? I'm like,
You're a handsome devil.
stop. Yeah, I wish I had that reaction from other humans.
Keep looking at me like that.
Brendan, if all women out there had your mentality, I would be getting laid like nobody's business.
Countless women have my mentality. I can say that with full authority.
You've been in the inner circle. You've spoken to them. Jeff Probst.
Oh yeah,
my friend Jeff Probst from Survivor
Yep.
had a good one related to this the other day. They were in tribal council, and a woman was explaining her piece, and she looked at Jeff Probst and she said, "Why are you looking at me like that? You look like you don't believe me." And Jeff Probst said, "I guess the Botox must not be working."
pretty good.
That was so delightful.
That is pretty
It's like
good.
Probst.
Oh,
letting us
Probsty.
in on your inside Hollywood reality.
I watched the beginning of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, or I've been watching.
Right.
I've been catching up on that show, and there's the part
You're
of the
a
first
fan,
season.
yes?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But there's a part in the beginning where in the first couple episodes where she and also her mother have this routine where they wait for their husband to go to sleep and then they run into the bathroom and put their hair in curlers and put moisturizer all over their face and tape up their eyes, then go to sleep, wake up, take it all off, take the curlers out, get back in bed, then the husband wakes up. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
And there is the whole tradition of like men there are people in my extended family who like the husbands have never seen their wives without makeup on, that kind of thing. Like that's a whole thing that used to be true.
That's crazy.
It's
crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I feel like I need to start doing that. I have to start I have to do the whole routine, you know?
We may have to. Trump has opened the doors for a lot of men to wear makeup now.
I know. Yeah, now you can.
It's okay.
Yep.
It's okay now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I might just like get rid of my face. Like, can you have like a face removal procedure?
You need a tiger.
and Siegfried to come over and help you through it.
I didn't see a lot of Siegfried pictures. He recently died. Or was it Roy?
Oh, yeah.
Siegfried, yeah.
One of them died. I don't know. Did the one who got attacked by the tiger die, or did the other one die?
No, the other one. The one who got attacked died a couple years ago.
Oh, okay. Well, obviously they were missing each other.
That was Roy.
They both went to kitty heaven.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Some sort of tiger preserve.
I just know sometimes my little house cat will just get a little, hitch in their get along and turn around and snap at me, and like that hurts like hell. I can't imagine a tiger doing it.
So house cats, I don't have one. They're just waiting for their owners to die so they can eat their eyeballs, right? Isn't that what house cats are for? They eat your corpse.
I absolutely feel that way. Yeah.
There's no affection.
It's a money saving.
Yeah.
No.
They're basically undertakers, nature's undertakers.
Yeah. No, there's no like I've known this cat for 3 years. I feed it every fucking day. It's barely gives me a sidelong glance as I walk into the room.
Are we talking about a jazz musician? Oh no, your cat. Oh, sorry, it's your cat.
Yeah. This cat, Dizzy Gillespie. My either way it's gone is having the time. It's a two-parter. It's a twofer. Having the time to watch a movie that is any movie that is anything except the 3 most acclaimed movies of the year.
Oh yeah.
That you feel like, I gotta watch that movie. Everyone's talking about that movie. I gotta find time to watch that movie. Mm-hmm. And then like it's a 3-night process.
Yep.
Yeah. You watch you can't get involved in anything. You watch like 40 minutes and you are falling asleep during the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it is either that or what was my other one? It was along those same lines. Having the time to watch a movie that is not one of the 3 most acclaimed movies of the year. And also watching a movie and then doing something else after you've watched the movie. Like on a rare occasion, I can get through an entire meeting or an entire movie, but never will I get through an entire movie and then be like, oh, I still got 2 hours of my night left. What should I do now?
Oh, right.
That has not happened since 1997.
Yeah,
probably.
No, because then exactly. I can digest the movie. Let's go to a coffee shop and talk about the ending or something. No. Yeah, no. It's like I stayed up I stayed up way too late. I shouldn't have even watched this last scene. Now I have to race to sleep as fast as I can.
Exactly.
And then not remember.
There's no turning off the TV and saying, what should we do now? that never happens. But like also I watch these I subscribe to all these, or on Twitter I follow all these people who are like younger than me, and they'll just be like, they'll watch like 5 movies in a row, and like some of them are just dumb. Mm-hmm. That they're just like, I don't even want to watch this movie, but I can.
Yeah.
Like
all the time in the world. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw you.
Remember
I saw you
those
tweet
days?
about it. Yeah. Oh, you tweeted about it, so I figured I'd watch it because I have 2 hours to kill before we're going out. So
no.
Yeah.
It took us 4 months to get through Queen's Majesty. No, Queen's
Gambit.
Queen's Pawn. Yes, Queen Tonight Pawn. Queen's Gambit. I just finished the last episode.
Oh, and I only have about 3/4 of an episode in me for like I've been watching Marvelous Miss Maisel every night, but now I'm off sync. So I stop 20 minutes before the end of an episode, finish that episode, and then start 20 minutes of the next episode. And I can't line it up with the beginning. Wow. So I'm not watching complete episodes anymore. Now it's like end of that one, go into that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, you just can't. You can't.
No time. No time in life.
No time. There's no time.
I got yesterday, or my weekend was done, and I decided to make bread this weekend. So my weekend was officially done at 2 p.m. yesterday because I had all this bread prep work I had to do. Mm-hmm. I was making pizza for dinner, so I had to make the pizza dough. I had to make the pizza sauce. I had what did I have? I had some work to finish up. And then today I got my whole day planned, so it's just done. Like I lost my, my weekend was over at 2 yesterday.
Yep. Yeah. This is to say nothing of fucking meals and the fact that they're so relentless and come at you 3 times a day.
Oh my God! Just stop it with these meals.
These meals.
Enough with these meals. We get it. We get it.
Right.
Food.
We're hungry.
Yeah. Hunger, you've made your point.
You've made your point. Why did we evolve past just foraging and like making food? All apes do all day is eat because that's it. That's all they need. They sit there.
Yeah.
So they interrupt snacking with sex sometimes, and then they go back to eating. That's what we should be doing.
Good question. Why apes are just as happy as we are. They're happier. They're way happier.
Much
than
happier.
We are.
Why do we?
Yeah, they play with their genitals anytime they want to, in full view of the entire community.
Yeah, there's like, check this out. Right, exactly. And we're like this just so we can have, I don't know, Moliere or something. It's not worth it.
What does that bring us?
Why can't we should be sitting in a grassland, napping in the sun, and then finding berries.
Amen. And occasionally getting ripped to shreds by tigers.
Well, right. Exactly.
I mean, that's fun. You don't know when your death is coming. Sure.
But
I'll take that.
What a way to go.
What a way to go. Brendan, I think on that note, we're done with each other.
We're done with each other. I'm through with you.
Yeah, me too. Oh, our phone number. If you want to call us.
Oh, yes.
Should we put in the theme song?
Oh, yeah, because I forgot our number.
323-515-9290. No, 323-515-9290.
9290.
That's right.
Yes.
323-515-9290.
323-515-9290.
Call us. I got to say, we've promised in the past that if you call us, you will get on the air. That's not accurate, obviously. We have a few callers who we have sidelined.
Neglecting. Yeah, they're in the kitty.
They're in the kitty. And no offense to those callers if we have sidelined you. We're limited. We are limited.
We're limited
humans,
people,
Brendan.
Limited people.
So I have made a mistake in saying that everyone will get on the air because we have so much we want to talk to every week, and we're just like, we don't have time to put on a call and talk about it. But keep calling anyway. We'd still love to hear from you.
Seconded.
Yes. And that's it. That's all I got.
Excellent. Jeffrey.
All right.
You don't have a wonky eye because, frankly, you're handsome.
Oh, thank you, Brendan. Do you like the stash?
Loving it. Loving it. That is your look.
Thanks. The pedo.
Yep.
Pedo dad.
Yep.
All right, man. Have a good night.
All right. Go get him, girl.